Hey everyone, welcome back to our podcast. I'm Mel.
And this is Claire.
And together we are
the Salty Hoes.
Well, happy May, everyone. It's a beautiful month, one of my favorite months, actually. And we are celebrating a special holiday in the United States, at least. I don't actually know how widespread this actual day is internationally, Claire. I think that Mother's Day is celebrated around the world, but I don't know if it's the same day, actually.
It's in March.
Oh, it's in March.
Typically in other places. So I think America is the standalone in May.
Oh, interesting.
UK, Ireland, I think Australia, other places, it's in March.
Okay, well, I'm glad I asked. And now I'm curious about the history, but we're not going to dive into it right now because I know nothing about that.
Well, weirdly, Father's Day is the same.
In June?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, that is interesting.
But just Mother's Day is different.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Strange.
Interesting.
If we're still recording next year, we might have to do a little research and figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Yep.
And I guess before we get started, we should just say we realize that not everybody out there is a mother.
Yeah. And that's all good.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
And we know that, for some people, this might be a painful holiday. Maybe this is a holiday for, that's hard for people that potentially wanted to have children and weren't able to for whatever reason.
Yeah.
We understand that. And you have all of our love and care and sympathy.
100%, because it can be a very loaded holiday for those reasons, or if you've lost your mom, or if you have a fractured relationship with your mom, or you wanted babies never happened, and so all the love to everybody.
Yeah, there could be many reasons. When you were attending church as a child in Ireland, did they do anything in the Mormon church to celebrate Mother's Day?
Oh, yeah.
That
so many
just reminded
stories. Me. Yes. I had erased that from my brain. It was usually like a wee, flower. I'll say American flower. Well, flowers, Irish way. Flower. Like a little buttonhole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what. Did they do it in America?
So I'm not sure that anything was standardized, right? In the ward that I grew up in, I remember members of probably the young men's, if I'm recalling correctly, taking a minute in sacrament meeting. So that's the big meeting with the whole congregation, and kind of marching around with potted plants, which they delivered to all the people who were mothers. Not to all the women, just to the moms. So if you maybe had some fertility challenges, that was probably very difficult. I didn't think about that when I was a kid, but now I'm just like, oh boy, that would have been really rough.
That would be horrific. And that's why I actually giggled initially, because on Father's Day, the dads got chocolate, and I was told that I couldn't have one because my dad wasn't a member.
Oh, he wasn't a real dad, Claire.
He wasn't a real dad. He was a heathen.
Not a priesthood holder.
Nope. Heathen father, terrible, terrible human, which, couldn't be further from the truth. My dad's amazing.
He sounds like an absolutely lovely human.
He's a wee gem, but it was a member of the bishopric told me that, and they were saying it with all seriousness.
Wow.
Yeah. So that exclusionary part, it's like exclusionary inception, right? Because the Mormons don't like to mingle with the non-Mormons, but even within that, if you're not meeting criteria, right? You're a woman, but you're not a mother, you don't get a plant.
Yeah, right.
No plant for you, bitch. It's just yeah, like you say, the easiest thing to do would just be to give one to all the adult women.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wait, no, you've had 2 miscarriages. You don't get one.
Yeah, that's right. Let me rip that potted plant away from you.
I mean, that's literally, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. You don't get to have babies, and also you don't get to have this small potted plant.
You don't get to clutch it today to virtue signal to everybody that you bore offspring.
Oh boy, that's pretty horrible.
Oh God, we're unearthing stuff.
Yeah, right out of the gate. Yeah. That's really, really shitty. I mean, we're laughing about it, but that would be incredibly painful. And I'm sure it was probably really painful to you to hear that your dad didn't really count because he wasn't a member.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. Although I can remember it like sparked something in me, and I remember it probably was considered deeply disrespectful, but my response was, "Oh yeah, you are not half the man my dad is."
Did you say that?
I did.
Oh my God, I love that, Claire.
Well, I was like, I'm very protective over my people, friends, family, whatever, and I just like had feelings I don't think I'd felt before, where it's like, how dare you? And with my dad's job and stuff, I would meet people in the world outside of church all the time. And people would always say, "Are you young Adams?" And I'd say, "Yeah." And they'd say, "Your dad's a great man." And that's what I was used to hearing about my dad. Not that he couldn't have a bar of chocolate. But sorry, we're going dad talk here. It's Mother's Day.
Okay, all right.
I'm talking about men.
We're not going to do dad talk, all right? Well, we can do a Father's Day episode.
We're rejecting the patriarchy of the Mormon Church.
We are doing that. And I just want to say about my lovely Claire, if you have not met Claire, you are very protective of your people. And you're also one of those people who is just like the sweetest, kindest, like ray of human sunshine until there's an injustice. Yeah. And then you're like, fuck no, that not on my watch.
That is very sweet of you. I'll take that. I like to think it's part of being Irish.
Yeah, that's very fair.
The women are known as she-wolves. Mm-hmm. So you don't come for our people.
I would never come for your people.
Or I will end you. Yeah. But you are my people, so right. You're good.
I love that. I'm in the inner circle.
Yes, you are protected by the she-wolves.
Yeah, so. I have the platinum plan with the Claire friendship. So,
yes, you do.
Lucky me.
So good.
Okay, so Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
So I have one child. You have 3 beautiful bebés.
I have 3 lovely babies, yeah.
Yeah, one of whom is currently living at home, right? And 2 are spread their little wings and at least temporarily have flown away.
They have flown away. Yeah, we're kind of at different stages of motherhood.
We are.
You've got your one baby.
Yep.
Who's a wee teen.
He is. He's in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, it's magical. I probably said this before, but everyone warns you about the teenage years. And like my child has been nothing but an absolute delight from the moment he was born till the current day.
Yeah. You're like, okay. Yeah. When's it going to hit? I know.
I mean, at this point, I think probably never.
Yeah.
You know?
And, I think that's just something. There's a lot of stories or myths out there in terms of how things should be. And I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that raising a child is easy, because it's not. It's not for the faint of heart, but maybe not for the reasons we're told.
Yeah.
And yeah, your child is a delightful human. Always has been. I don't know how long I've known your child for. I have no concept of time, but for quite some time.
That's fair. Many years, yes.
Such a good human. And I always enjoy your child's ability to conversate with adults.
Oh, thank you.
So cute.
He's had a lot of practice.
Yes, but he's so cute and so smart and just a sweetheart.
He's great.
He's a good kid.
Yeah, and it's very funny. Like his personality today is the same as his personality when he was a baby. It's really, really funny to see.
I would love to talk about that, because that's a thing, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing.
Like they're born and you get a sense of, even as a little baby, you get a sense of like, okay, I am going to probably cry many times in this episode.
I know, me too. Friends, we might have to pause this at times, so do bear with us.
Or we might just ugly cry and you'll get all the bare bones, but like...
We'll try to keep the mouth noises to a minimum, but...
the like snorty snot, mucusy sides. But,
Ew.
It's like you see this little baby, but you get like a sense of who they are. And as you say, it's like this... genetic set point. I don't know what you would call it.
For sure.
Of them.
Yes.
And it's incredible.
It really is. It really confuses me that psychologists at one point were like, oh yeah, like a baby is a blank slate. Mm-hmm. Or like maybe that was some Enlightenment philosophers as well. It's been a while since I took Euro history or philosophy, but I feel like that was a thing, right?
Yeah.
That this child is a blank slate, and like that could not be further from the truth. And I guess these people all must have been men who were not, intimately acquainted with small babies, because I think all of us that are moms know they come out with a very distinct personality.
Yep, they certainly do. And that surprised me when I had my second and third child, because I was like, wait, it's different. Like, I thought the same tricks would work, you know? And like, all three had different sleep habits. All three had different food habits. All three had different little personalities. Even in the womb, I'm going to argue, because I'm going to argue that point in terms of like, I always joke with my youngest, I'm like, you were a wee bugger, because she stayed still all day long.
Oh, that's frightening.
And every day I was like, oh my God, there's something wrong with the baby. Like,
are they still alive
in
there? Yeah.
Like, and about 10:30 every night, she would just, it was like a little flick.
Oh my goodness.
She's like, hey, I'm still here. It's all fine. And I'd be like, every night, you know, and like pause and
the
just
relief.
Be like, okay. And I was like, I swear you were tormenting me. You were just like, are you worried? Are you worried? But yeah, she's the cutest, loveliest human. But it's just funny. Like, it's just all, they come with their wee personalities.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't think about in utero. That's so funny. I've only been pregnant one time, so that did not occur to me.
Yeah, it's like, how would they all manifest? My son, my middle child, he was ginormous. He was 9 pounds 4.
Oh, goodness.
But like built like a brick outhouse, like really like a girthy kid. Super good looking baby, jet black, spiky hair.
Oh.
He has this cute little moon shape in his face. That he was just a marvel to medicine when he was born for a couple of reasons, but he still has just this like perfect crescent moon in his cheek.
Amazing.
And no doctor has ever discovered why.
Is there something in Irish mythology that could explain this, Claire?
When he was a little boy, I told him it's because he was destined to be a spaceman, and he liked that as a kid.
That's so cute.
Because it's just like a perfect little moon. But yeah, he was crazy in the womb. Like, my whole belly would just...
Oh my God, I bet.
I was doing a master's when I was pregnant with him, and I'd sit in class, and my whole belly would just like jump from side to side. And yeah, the youngest was kind of in between. So.
Oh, that's so funny.
How was your pregnancy with your wee child?
I mean, it was pretty uneventful. Mm-hmm. Let's see. It was actually an unplanned pregnancy, but I was really happy. I mean, I don't know. Those hormones are a hell of a drug.
Oh my God.
I know.
Yes.
And maybe I shouldn't have been like so happy, because I was trying to finish my PhD. It was literally my last year.
Oof.
I was trying to like finish all the experiments in the lab so I could like get done and write up. And it had already been a long time. And then I found out I was pregnant, and it was really exciting, but also like, oh shit, like how am I gonna get all this done? And spoiler alert, I did not get it all done.
Yeah.
I did finish everything in the lab, but I still had to write my entire like dissertation afterwards while he was an infant.
Oh my God.
So that was definitely no fun. Yeah, but the pregnancy was pretty for the most part, fairly easy. I had some morning sickness, didn't want to eat for the first trimester. That's really normal. Also, like, actually, one of the early signs I was pregnant was my body fully rejected alcohol. It was like, I think we might have talked about this in a different episode, but it was absolutely something I could not stand to like smell or be around, which is great.
That's very, like, your body is just...
Yeah, it was on
doing
point.
Its job.
It was taking care of the little one. Yeah, for sure. And then second trimester, I wanted to eat all the things. Yeah. And then, third trimester is like, just get it out of me type of thing.
You're like, I have to pee every 2 minutes. I can't sleep.
Exactly.
Discomfort.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, did you feel like, I don't know. I've always been skeptical. I feel like there's like two camps. Either you're like, oh, I hate being pregnant, or I love this. I feel so beautiful and great. And, just, yeah.
I feel like I was somewhere in between those two things. I wasn't like, oh my God, this is like a magical experience necessarily, but it was interesting. I mean, I will say that. It was like kind of cool once he started moving and kicking to like feel that inside of you. I actually really, really enjoyed that part.
It's mental when you think about it. Like, there's like a person you're growing in there, like you're not alone.
Exactly.
Ever.
I mean, that kind of hit me with full force. You're like, I'm growing a whole different human, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like I look at some people and maybe I don't know what goes on in their head, but I'm like, do they think that like this child is like their pet or their property or something like that?
Yeah.
I always had a very, very distinct sense that this was a completely unique human being. And like my job was just to not fuck this up.
Yeah. Keep them alive in the early years. So the term food, drinks, like look after them. And yeah.
Oh, I was so paranoid about that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I had read this article, I think either right before I got pregnant or while I was pregnant, about parents who had accidentally left their child in a hot car.
Oh,
and
my
the child
God.
passed away.
Oh.
And that was scarred into my soul, Claire.
Yeah.
I was so paranoid about doing some stupid shit like that, you know. I mean, I never did, and I think I never would have, but
Yeah.
like this article was quite sympathetic, right?
Yes.
It presented these people as good parents who were sleep deprived or they
Of
made a
course.
mistake or whatever, and I believe that. So I'm like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
I was just beyond paranoid, like at all times of the day, like when he was probably up to the age of 5 or even older, like it 100 times a day, I'd be like, where is my child? Is
Yes.
he safe? Right. Like, and then
Yeah.
I would, okay, he's at school, he's at daycare, he's upstairs sleeping. I was really hypervigilant.
Yeah.
I counted the stairs in my house because I was also afraid of tripping and falling down the stairs while I was holding my baby. So that's like a thing I still do actually, is count
Yes.
stairs. So like
Oh
in my house, I know how
goodness.
many,
Yeah.
but that is from, having that wee baby.
Oh, that is so lovely though. Like, because the way you kind of just, no pun intended, fall into like just, the protection thing. Like it hits hard. You mentioned like the hormones, and I think it's so real and not really a thing people talk about or a way I felt prepared for pregnancy or motherhood, where you are hypervigilant. You see every potential danger.
Yes.
Like you're just kind of looking at the world in a totally different way.
Yes.
And this like protection thing, if you were like, give me a word to define motherhood, it would be protection.
Yeah, absolutely. We had 2 big dogs at
Yeah.
the time, sweet dogs.
Yeah.
One especially was just a doll.
Yeah.
I mean, my nieces and nephews, when they were toddlers, would grab his ears and pull themselves up to a standing position, and he would just stand there and take it. Still,
So
even though
cute.
I, quote, trusted these dogs, I
Yeah.
did not leave my child alone with the dogs for a single minute, not
Yeah.
even a second, until he was probably 6 years old.
Oh,
Yeah, because I'm just like, what would you do if something
Yeah.
did happen,
like the worry and
Yeah.
And it's difficult because there's hormones. You are sleep deprived. There's so much going on, and I always had a fear, which happened a couple of times, where I would be nursing, and I'd be like, okay, I'll sit down in this cozy chair, or I'll just lay in bed and nurse for a minute, and then I would fall asleep. And it used to scare the shit out of me, because I remember waking up one night and I was just sitting in like a just regular armchair, and I had my feet up on like a little stool, and I fell asleep, and I woke up with my baby off the boob, just laying in my lap.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like,
oh no.
what happened?
Yeah.
Like, and when I fall asleep, like I am
Out.
like I am unconscious, and that used to scare me so bad, because I'd be like, I'm gonna sit up so I don't fall asleep, and no tricks worked because you're so tired.
Yeah, you're so sleep deprived.
Like you're so tired. Or the times I fell asleep and I would wake up and they were like, sandwiched in between us in the bed, and you're like, scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It is scary.
Because yeah.
Was it the same for all 3 children?
Pretty much, because the tiredness just seemed to increase.
Oh, well, that I'm sure. But I just mean like that fear. Or
Yes.
did you feel like, oh, I've got this, right? I've already done it twice?
No.
Or nope, not at all.
Nope.
Same every time.
I think it was, it just stayed pretty persistent of, this panic. I remember one time I had taken them to this little kiddie pool. We still lived in Ireland, and like it was a great place to bring young kids, because it was just basically like about a foot and a half deep, but like a large like pool in like a a center with other pools. But they could play, you could sit, you could watch, like if you had a little baby on the side, they were happy playing with other kids. And I remember being there one day and, you're on hyper alert in places like that.
With water
Yes.
and a lot of kids and distractions, 100%.
And you're like,
scary.
Full vigilance.
Yeah.
But we were all dressed, and out going to get food. And I was like, oh my God, where's the baby? And I was running around looking. I was literally holding the baby.
Oh.
I was holding the baby. Like where you walk around with your phone, you're like, where the hell's my phone? It's in your hand.
God, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Or like my car key. I'm like,
Yes.
where is it? And I'm holding it. That's
I
real.
did that with my child.
Wow.
And I was like, that full mom panic. You're like,
Oh,
my God.
yeah.
Oh my God.
The worst.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
wild.
goodness.
Oh, mothering. Well, we also had slightly different mothering experiences in terms of you had been out of the Mormon church for quite some time.
Yes.
And I was like bishop's wife.
Fully embedded.
Fully embedded in the cult at the time. So did you feel that like Mormonism informed anything about your mothering, or where did any of that fit? Or were you like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not raising my child in this?
Yeah, that. So I think it did inform my mothering,
Yeah.
but in the opposite way. I'm like, oh, here's a whole bunch of things that
Yeah.
I know I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to raise my child in this organization that just sells shame and guilt as
Yeah.
a control tactic. I mean, I was so grateful that I had already put that behind me, that
Yeah.
my husband at the time had never been a Mormon. So like there was no pressure to go back to church, or at least no pressure that was meaningful, right? My
Yes.
parents certainly wanted that. They pushed a little bit for a baby blessing, but that was an absolute no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, no thanks.
Yeah, no, I don't want his name ever, like, in the records of that organization. I mean, who knows if a relative submitted it, but certainly, he was never blessed. So he's not an official member and never was, which is great. But yeah, just like, it felt like a gift, honestly, to not have to deal with that, again, the guilt and the shame, this feeling of like brainwashing these little babies, right? And making them feel bad about themselves from a really young age. Because I certainly did. That was my early primary experience, was just, being made to feel awful about myself every single week at church for 3 hours. So
That's heartbreaking for a child
Yeah.
to have a sense of that. Like,
yeah,
part of childhood is meant to be the free, you're free. You're just like a little, free little wispy person running
Yes.
barefoot in the grass, hopefully, and not like, oh my God, am I good enough? Does Jesus love me? Am I bad?
right. Did I have a bad thought? And now
Yes.
Jesus hates me,
Right.
right? Like this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what a gift. And like now that my son is a little older and he knows something about, that organization, he knows quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
Randomly, sometimes he'll just turn to me and be like, hey, thanks for not raising me religious. And I'm like, you got it, buddy. You are so welcome.
Happy to oblige. Yeah.
Well, and then also I don't want to belabor this because we've talked about it before, but, obviously we both had feelings about the Mormon Church's treatment of, people that are LGBTQ.
Yeah.
That was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And, you're holding this little baby and you're like, well, what if they're gay?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I could never
No.
do that to my child.
I know, just on so many levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about you? What was it like raising little babies in the church? Because you started younger than I did.
Yeah. How old were you when you had your wee baby child?
I was in my early 30s. So I was 33, I think, when he was born.
I was pregnant for the first time at 23.
Oh, boy. So you were a
Yes.
full decade younger than me
Was.
when you had your first. That's a different
Yeah.
experience.
It's, I've mentioned this before, but I jokingly will, apologize to my children on a regular basis and be like, I was a child myself, really, and I'm sorry.
No,
It's
stop.
like,
You are clearly the best mother, and
So
I
sweet.
see your kids interact with you, and I can see how much they adore you. Like, you've clearly just done a bang-up job.
Well, thank you. I'm
It's
back
true.
at you.
Thank
But
you.
I mean, I made my mistakes, and as a mother, and I'm sure being young definitely, at all stages really of their development, so probably impacted my approach, maybe sometimes for the good, right?
Sure.
You know, and definitely sometimes for the not so good. But I actually miscarried before my first baby.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I mean, it's so common.
It's extremely common.
So common. And, you know, for a lot of people, just multiple, you know, times. And I mean, that's a whole podcast episode in itself, the way kind of the world deals with that and kind of writes it off as no big deal. And, you know.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking when people minimize that, because I mean, I haven't been through it, but I can't really imagine like the grief that you would experience losing a pregnancy like that.
It's like odd because it's like undefined, I think. And sort of interesting ex-Mormon sidebar here. I remember receiving my first stake calling. So for the non-Mormons out there, each ward or like parish is organized in little groups into a larger grouping called a stake, which...
So a little bouquet of congregations.
A little bouquet. So this was like a high-profile calling because it wasn't just in
fancy.
The ward. It was in the stake. Just because there was like 10 Mormons in Ireland. So you had like 5, whatever, callings. They call it a calling to make it seem like the baby Jesus himself asked you to clean the toilets in the church, but...
Well, that is also how they present it, right? Yeah. Is that the bishop or the stake president or whoever like prays for guidance from our Lord as to who should be cleaning the toilets or whatever, you know.
And at this time, the Lord sees fit that it should be you, Sister Peterson, as I was then. So they give you a blessing, the hands on the head. They call it, they set you apart, like, so you're divinely given this role. Which, when you talk about it, it's so weird.
Yeah.
But I actually was blessed in this blessing that my baby was healthy, was growing, was strong. No. I was called to be a mother. I was going to be a mother. And imagine my surprise the next week when you miscarry.
Oh, Claire.
So you're like,
I'm so sorry.
Well, it's just, you're so sweet. Thank you. But it's just, it's like a mind fuck, right? Because you're just like, but wait, what? You told me it would be okay. And then that's when you go into the, oh shit, did I do something? Like,
yeah, was it my fault?
Yes.
Yeah, the guilt.
Yes, you're like, what did I do here? But
I mean, what did I do in the last week?
Right. I know.
And also, like, not to belabor this point either, but like, what kind of loving God would punish you with the loss of a child?
Right. One of the most terrible things. Yeah. This is like a Melissa clap. Stop it.
No.
Like, clapping. No. But I share that only to be like the extent to which being a Mormon at the time like impacts all of it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
So I can certainly imagine like those thoughts going through your head. Like, where did you land with that in the end?
You know, I don't think until years later when I wasn't Mormon anymore, because, you know, it was interesting. It was very like gendered, actually. All the women would give me these beautiful, the spirit jumped too soon from the pre-existence and maybe it's your next child, or, you know, shit just happens.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most liberating things conclusions I came to after the church. Sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah.
There's not a reason.
That's right.
We don't have to attach it to the baby Jesus or, it's just a thing. There was a chromosomal defect and that was not a viable pregnancy.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most likely cause of miscarriages. Yeah. Sometimes it's something to do with, uterine implantation or detachment, but the most common thing is a chromosomal abnormality. And that's extremely common. Mm-hmm. I don't know even if people realize how common it is, because many times it'll happen before someone realizes that they're pregnant. But estimates are it's probably close to half of all conceived embryos are actually, we call it in biology, spontaneously aborted before term. And if you realize you're pregnant, we call that a miscarriage, but a lot of them actually spontaneously abort even earlier than that. Wow. So it's extremely common. It's probably not talked about enough for people to realize just how common it is. And even without a religious background, people ask these questions like, what did I do to cause this? Like, what did I do wrong? Did I drink a cup of coffee, right?
Yes.
Did I sleep too much or not sleep enough? Did I eat the wrong things? And it's it's not your fault. It wasn't your fault. It was never your fault.
Never, ever, ever. And I say that as well, not to be flippant and just be like, oh, it's just this science-y thing that happens, because obviously there's grief associated with it and those questions. And it's really your body working at 100%, you know, and
that's
just
right.
Doing what it needs to do. And again, in no way to diminish the grief, because that's so real. It's still a loss.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying any of that to minimize grief. What I'm saying is maybe we could take the guilt and the shame away from that.
Yes.
And the grief still is what it is.
100%.
It doesn't take away from that at all.
Yeah. But if your doctor sits you down and says what you just said, that's a game changer. Because you're like,
I would hope so.
Okay, there's nothing I could do.
You didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. Like you said, sometimes shit just happens.
Yes. And, I feel like in the context of motherhood, it could also be a good time to mention in our Utah legislature here a couple of years ago, one of the dear legislators proposed a bill.
Oh, no.
You're like, I know what's coming.
Yeah.
That if you miscarry here in the great state of Utah, which, as we pointed out, is extremely common.
Extremely.
That there would have to be an investigation done to make sure that you didn't induce.
Oh, my God.
Which, again, to your point, that will exacerbate the guilt, not just, from a literal medical scientific viewpoint saying, no, this happens to about 50% of pregnancies.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, I know there are some states that sometimes do prosecute women who have miscarried, and stop it.
Just stop.
You absolute assholes.
Yes.
Stop that immediately.
Just stop. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. So yeah, I had then I got pregnant pretty quickly after that. And I had a child at 24, 26, and 30.
Wow.
Yeah. And then at 30, I was like, okay, I'm good.
That's enough.
I'm good. Yeah. So it was a little crazy in those early days. And sometimes, I look at those Secret Lives of Mormon Wives shows and I'm just like, how did I ever do that? You've got this little legion of young children and you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
How did I keep them all together in a group? I don't know.
I have no idea. I'm the oldest
wild.
of 5. I have no idea how that worked out exactly.
Yeah, that's a lot of kids.
It's a lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, and you and I both, what we share in common was studying while pregnant.
Oh, God, that's
for
right.
For terminal degrees.
Yes.
Would not recommend.
Definitely would not recommend.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Though shout out to Ireland. I was doing my PhD in Ireland when I was pregnant with my baby child, and I had a full ride scholarship, and I got 4 months maternity leave.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
And they paid me.
Amazing.
They paid me scholarship and give me 4 months off.
Wow.
Any kind of work. So.
That's so enlightened.
Yay, socialism.
Yeah, yay, socialism.
Yeah. I'd love to talk about that then, because I had all my babies in Ireland.
Yeah.
And you had your baby here.
I did, but it was a little bit different because I was in graduate school. So I was being paid. I was on a federal fellowship, I think, at the time. And I can't remember exactly how all that went down, but it's kind of a varying landscape for higher education here in the United States. So some people pay to earn their degrees.
Yeah.
I was actually paid, and that is standard in my field of biology. If you have to pay for a terminal degree, you should not be doing that.
Yes.
You should be compensated. Now, the compensation is low, I will say, but at least you're not going into debt, for example, to get a graduate degree. And so I'm not really sure. I think I probably could have taken the standard amount of leave, which isn't very much.
Yeah.
And I could subsequently have gone on Family and Medical Leave Act, so FMLA, unpaid for probably an unspecified amount of time.
Yeah.
But there were a few reasons why that would have been a bad idea. Like, number one, I'd been in graduate school for a long time and I was really sick of it and I needed to be done.
You're
just like for my mental health.
Want to move on.
Needed to be done. And then secondly, this is a bit tragic, but my PhD advisor was battling terminal cancer at the time. And he actually passed away a few months after I defended my dissertation.
That's so sad.
So it was very sad, but it was also a race to sort of finish it before he died, because we all knew at that point that was what was going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. On top of baby and fried brain from...
Oh, it was real fried.
Oh, yes. Like,
I got so angry when people are like, oh, just sleep when your baby sleeps. I'm like, I can't. I'm writing a dissertation.
To write a goddamn thesis.
I know. And he did not sleep well for the first 6 months. I mean, he was pretty much a champion after that. But and he wasn't fussy, he wasn't colicky, he just came out hungry.
Yes.
Like so fucking hungry.
Oh.
Like he was born at like 6 pounds 12, so kind of right at the middle, right? Like right at the average. He was right about 50th percentile for weight when he was born. By month 2, our second month appointment, he was at the 99th percentile for weight. 99th.
Wow.
And he did not fall out of that until he was in late elementary school. Like he just wanted to eat like every 2 hours for 6 months. And like,
were you nursing?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, I would sometimes like give him a bottle.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Yes.
Because, I was producing plenty of milk for that little guy, right? Because he was nursing every 2 hours.
Yes.
But there were times like my mom would come over, for example, and I was like, here's a bottle. Like either I would pump or I would do like formula, like so I could just sleep for like 4 hours straight. Because I did not get that at all for the first 6 months.
Oh my God.
He was just so hungry. And other than that, he was the happiest baby in the world as long as his little stomach was full.
Oh.
I know. I found it so funny. I learned like the term cluster feeding like several years later. Somebody was like, oh, that's where they feed every 2 hours. I was like, oh, he did 6 months of cluster feeding then.
Wow, it has a name.
Yeah. And then at 6 months, he started on solid food. And he... that was when he started actually sleeping more than 2 to 3 hours at a time.
The poor baby. He's just like, I'm
just
so hungry. Like, give me something substantial here that I can chew on. Like,
And then he would just like smile at me for 2 hours until he was ready to eat again,
Oh my goodness.
He was a doll.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is exhaustive.
Oh yeah.
And when you're also in that mode of study, there's like a mental, emotional weight too, because it's always on your mind.
Always.
You're always thinking about it. And, that's rough to do. My middle child was born when I was in like the final months of my master's. And my dissertation was due about like 2 weeks after he was born.
Oh God. That's horrible.
I have my laptop in the hospital. Like, I was like... typing. And I got out of hospital and I went to class the next week and I just bought him in his little car seat.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, that's rough.
Finished. And then honestly, like, I think I had like 2 weeks left of the program, submitted my dissertation, and I didn't even go to my graduation.
Yeah.
I was so tired.
I didn't go either, but it was because my advisor had passed, and I was like, because
it just didn't feel right.
Well, at the PhD thing, like the big thing is like they hood you, so the advisor puts the hood on you, and without him, there just wasn't a point in going.
I'm so sorry. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because oh, that is rough.
Yeah.
That is rough. As is studying with babies.
Extremely rough.
It's very cute. My oldest, we had this realization that she's actually at the same university in Ireland, doing a very, very close related master's program at the same age that I was there.
Oh, wow.
Doing that master's program. And occasionally she would just go, oh my God, Mom, how did you do this with children?
Right.
Like, you had me and you were pregnant. Like, what? And it's a little bit bonkers. But
it is bonkers. I mean, if anyone could do it, it's you. I'm still like amazed day to day when I hear what you're actually accomplishing day in and day out. It like blows me away.
I think I have problems. That's very kind of you, but like, yeah.
Looking at your calendar makes me tired.
It makes me tired, and I think some changes need to come, but that's a whole other episode.
Yeah. It is.
That's all.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you always know that you wanted to be a mom? Was that always like a goal of yours?
I don't think so. That's a weird question or a weird response given I have 3 children, but in the way that I was the baby of the family, and I was the youngest of all the cousins, or at least the youngest of the cousins. My younger cousins lived in Australia, so I didn't see them. So I really didn't have like experience of babies. I was always the baby.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know. I never really thought I would get married.
Interesting.
It's not that I didn't want it, but I just didn't kind of really be like, okay, I want to have children. I want to have children at this age. And, you know, when I got married then, you know, I was like, oh, I'm going to have the babies. Like, you know, but I never considered myself like necessarily super maternal or the person that was like, oh, a baby, you know.
Yeah.
That just wasn't like me until I had babies, and then everything changed. But what about you? Was it like a thing you were always like, I'm going to do that?
No, I would say no. Certainly like in growing up in the Mormon church, they push that really hard, right? It's all like temple marriage, motherhood, temple marriage, motherhood, like et cetera, et cetera. And I guess when I was a kid, I kind of felt like, well, yeah, I mean, eventually, like, that'll probably happen. But I was also, like, focused on getting a college degree and studying. Like, that was more interesting to me. And I would say even before I really sort of had a faith crisis and started deconstructing, it was a future that felt very dark to me. To, like, get married, stay home, pop out a whole bunch of babies. That just felt like really icky. I didn't like thinking about it. It seemed very foreign to me and like kind of awful, to be honest. And then in college, going to BYU, I really felt even more so because I started to see roommates getting married and drop out of college, for example, or get pregnant really quickly and like try to be managing like a baby and also working to put their husbands through school because we know who the important person is in this family, right? And that just felt, again, like gross and dark. It didn't feel like a future I wanted any part of.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I was not like opposed to having kids. I wanted to like get married at some point, right? I, did when I was 28. So I wasn't like in a rush exactly. But the kids I was kind of on the fence about. And when I got married, we were both a little bit on the fence about it. Like we talked about it and it was kind of maybe, but like down the road, like when school is done, when residency is done, like all the things, but like it was a maybe, it was a question mark. Yeah. And then I just turned out to be super fertile as the women in my family tend to be. So, there you go. But
good problems.
Yeah. But again, like the hormones are just, wow, they're powerful. Like that oxytocin or whatever that like starts being produced when you get pregnant, it is a hell of a drug, shall we just say, right?
It changes so fast too. You're just like, whoa.
Overnight, yes.
Clearly I'm a different person now.
Yep. And you kind of never go back. And like even from the earliest stages of being pregnant, I felt that. And then when they put that baby in my arms, you're like, oh, holy shit. Like, yeah, the whole world just shifted.
It's pretty incredible. Like when you remember when they're born and they lift the baby up, like I was just speechless the first time. I was like, oh my God, there's a person. Like, it's honestly wild. Like it's just so wild and amazing and crazy.
Oh yeah, I remember that moment so clearly because like, the baby was born. It was right before midnight, like a couple minutes before. I'd been in labor all day because I was induced, but that was a different story anyway. And the baby's crying, which like I don't know about you. I suspect it's similar. That felt physically painful.
Yes.
When they were very new.
Yeah.
Like physical pain. Like I will do anything to
You're like, how do I fix this? How do I fix this?
To like make you better. And they did like all the like things like, you know, the weighing and the putting the drops in the eyes and all the thing. They were like stitching me up, and they finally like put the baby in my arms. Right. And like, you already kind of know this person because it's been inside you. Right. And they know you because they've been hearing your voice. You know, for the whole 9 months. So he was crying. They put him in my arms, and I said, "Hey, baby, like I'm your mama." And he looked at me with these big blue eyes and stopped crying.
Oh my
God! And we
God.
just stared at each other.
That's so lovely.
It was magical.
It was. We said like sobbing here. We're like,
know.
oh my God.
Yeah.
But that he knew you.
He did. And
he felt safe.
As soon as he heard my voice, he stopped crying.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so lovely.
Right?
Oh my God.
I know, we're both in tears, yo.
Like, oh my God. Because it's like, I think the thing with religion is like, it kind of contorted this idea of what motherhood should be.
Yes.
To me, where it felt almost like a performative thing. But I kind of didn't fit the Mormon mold in that when I got married as an infant, basically.
Babies having babies.
Barely turned 21 years old. We didn't have babies right away. It was 3 years later, which, you know, you can imagine how many people were like, where are the babies? Where are the babies? Which, don't ever say that to anybody.
Yeah, people stop doing that.
Stop doing that.
That's such a shitty thing to do. And I know a lot of people are just being thoughtless and don't realize what they're doing. But what if it's someone struggling with infertility and all they want is to have a baby, and you're just like rubbing salt in that wound?
Oh, thanks for letting me remember that.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
You know, that wasn't the case. I am grateful in that regard where we both just didn't feel ready exactly. And we had gotten married, and he had moved to Ireland because I had less time of my bachelor's left than he did. And in Ireland, it's different. You can't sort of take a break and go back. Like if you stop, you have to go back to year zero.
Oh, wow.
And start your degree all over again.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. So, you know, it was like, let's just get yours finished and then we'll move back to America. And that was our plan. So we obviously didn't want to throw a baby into the mix of that, you know.
Yeah,
like
that's a lot.
Emigrating and wrapping up school, moving to a new country. But then we switched plans and we decided to stay in Ireland, and we stayed there for another 9 years and had all our kids there. And so we're like, let's have a baby. But yeah, I don't think I was expecting that feeling that you just described when they were born. And like, this might sound weird, but they never feel that warm again. You know, like when they just lift them right up and put them on your belly, and it's just the coziest. And I would imagine, because I'm the woo-woo one of the group, it's like, it's maybe not even just this literal warmth. I don't know. It's just like the coziest, best feeling ever.
Yeah.
And their wee head just looks
really
up at
is.
you.
Aww.
And you know they know you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
It's a good feeling.
It's amazing.
This might sound like a weird question. Did you like enjoy giving birth? I mean, like, what was that experience like for you?
Oh, God, no. I heard somebody say once, and I don't remember who, so I apologize if I'm, stealing your words. But they said the only miracle of birth is that one person goes into the hospital and two people come out.
I love that. That's so pragmatic. Just like, yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was fairly awful for a bunch of reasons. So number one, I was just a few days past the due date, but I was induced because my husband at the time was very adamant that he'd already taken his 2 weeks off and he could not switch those 2 weeks. So I'd better give birth that Friday. Otherwise, I would have no support because he was going to go back to work.
God. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so...
Well done, Melissa-rella.
I've come a long way in learning to advocate for myself, Claire. But at the time, and, I won't go into, like, everything, but I complied for reasons. Anyway, so I, they took me in at probably 10 in the morning and then put the drug in to get the contractions going, and it was kind of slow getting started. They had to put the antibiotics in, right? Like the strep A or whatever. I was positive for that. Not a big deal, but they just like put those in. They placed the IV. I passed out. That was just
oh my goodness.
lovely. Just terrible. And then I had opted for an epidural. And it at least partially failed, as 10% of epidurals do, which is something they don't really explain to you. I had a resident place it, and I'm not sure if she didn't know what she was doing or if I'm an anatomical variant or like what it was, but I could still feel an pretty indescribable amount of pain.
Oh my goodness.
But there was at least like a partial effect of the epidural because I also couldn't stand up or like move very much. So
that sounds like harder.
It's kind of the worst of both
either
worlds,
like
right? Because you can't get up and you can't like squat, which is kind of a more natural like birth giving
but you're
position.
Feeling it.
But I could feel it, and they had to turn him too.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Which was almost more painful.
I would imagine.
Yeah. Than the rest of it.
Yeah.
It was awful. It was a lot of hours of just a lot of pain, like kind of an unbelievable amount of pain. And then at the end, like I was in unproductive labor for quite a while. The OB kind of towards the end, she's like, I feel like the heart rate's getting a little more erratic than I want it to be. So she was like, if you don't deliver him soon, then it's, we're going to do the episiotomy, right? I'm going to cut and like, pull the kid out. But, I did push him out very shortly thereafter. I guess that was like, a good motivator, right? Well, especially because I could feel like, I don't want anyone cutting down there.
No.
Like that seems horrible.
On top of all the other pain you're experiencing.
Yeah. So it was, kind of awful. There was a lot of pain. There was a lot of blood. It was not great, but it was obviously all worth it. It was like the worst day and the best day of my life.
Yeah. Like from the high to the low. Like
well, at least we started low and ended with the baby.
And went high. So, that is a good thing. I mean, it is an insane process, and I think birth stories are so varied.
They really are.
And experiences, and it depends where you are, what hospital you're at, like there's so many factors, if you're induced, if you're not, like all the things. And it like giving birth feels like, oh yeah, it's just a thing you do, or this whole, it's just natural, just do it. And it's like mental.
It is mental.
Like it's like, the line of birth death is like, you're like on it.
Oh, you are.
Yes.
And our maternal death rate in the United States is pretty high.
Horrifically high for a developed nation.
Good, yeah.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah.
So that's always on the table, is that like one or both of you aren't going to make it, right?
Yeah.
Even though most of the time it turns out fine, you are skirting that line, like you said, between life and death.
Yeah. And 2 out of my 3 births, I decided to really go for it and have like 2 near-death experiences.
Oh, Claire, of course. You're such an overachiever. Of course you did. I'm surprised you didn't almost die with all 3 of them.
Honestly, it was so frightening at the time, but in hindsight, I am like, okay, you just have like everything you need inside of you. I firmly believe that. I feel like it's like taught out of you, or they'll tell you, oh no, it's the Holy Ghost. There's a man spirit, even though the Holy Ghost is actually androgynous. They're never gendered, right? Like, but it's assumed to be a man.
Yeah, that's how I've always seen it depicted. Yeah. Although I guess there was a strand a while ago that some people thought that the Holy Ghost was the Heavenly Mother, but that I think is heresy, like with the actual,
that would
official
make
LDS
more
church.
Sense. But spoiler alert, it's your intuition. It's you. Like, but that's what you're told to believe. But like, so I had midwife-led care with all 3 of mine because I wanted to do that, and it's culturally more of a thing I think people do in Ireland generally, rather than the sort of more medical route. Although I did have them in hospitals.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. It's like kind of a good in-between, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like a home birth, scared me.
Just in case, because you never know.
Just in fucking case, right? Most of the time, again, it's going to be fine.
Yes.
But what if, you actually run into an emergency? People die during home births.
Yes.
And I just wanted to be close to someone with a scalpel who knows how to use it.
Right.
Just in case.
Just in case. Or a pediatrician on call if there was something up when your baby came out.
What if you have to resuscitate the baby, right?
So that, I would have loved that, but also just my nerves would not have let me do that.
Yeah, no way.
So if you knew it was all going to be fine, you would. But I was, I had a pretty easy labor for a first child. I woke up in the middle of the night and was like, oh, I think something's happening. And I was so pissed off because one of my best friends had come to visit me the day previous and had just birthed their first child. So it was very exciting. We were having our babies together. But I was so tired. And I was like, I am going to sleep late tomorrow. And I feel like I never got that sleep in.
You're still waiting for it.
I'm still waiting. So I got up in the night and I was like, I think labor could be happening. And it was, in fact, labor. But, being cognizant of my husband's schedule, I was like, we can just go in after you wake up in the morning. It's fine. So I just kind of pottered about the house, laboring.
Oh, yeah.
But, funny story here, but also not. And I'm so grateful that both of us have turned into different humans at this point.
Yes.
But I was also trying to be mindful of my husband's schedule. And he jokingly was like, could you have them at the weekend? Haha. My children were born Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Without being induced.
Look at you.
I literally think I was that much of a people pleaser.
Even your uterus
My
had
uterus
to comply.
was like, okay, queen, we can only do this on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Oh my God.
They were literally born Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's hilarious.
It's mortifying because you're just like, Jesus, I really was that much of a people pleaser. So, yeah.
I feel ya.
Yeah. So, it didn't even last that long. It was kind of the whole day. About 7:30, I went down to the wee birthing room. My midwife, though, was kind of a ding-dong because she had just come back after 9 months of maternity leave because, there's longer maternity leave over there. In America, it's like, okay, you've had 5 minutes. Get back to work.
Right, exactly. Well, why haven't you answered my email?
I know. I have been waiting a day. You just give birth. What the hell? Yeah. So she was distracted by showing pictures of her firstborn child to everybody that came into the room.
Oh,
I was
Lord.
like, hey, girlie.
Like something's happening here.
Yeah, there's
maybe
a head
little
coming out.
attention to detail.
So that was a little bonkers. But I also had the same... they not threat, but guidance that, we're worried about the baby's heart rate. And they were going to use, what's the thing they put on their head? Forceps.
Oh, the forceps, yeah.
And I was like, Jesus, no, I don't want that for either
scary.
My vagina or
the baby's
their head.
Yeah, because it comes out a little deformed, it's a cone head. Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, I just don't think I want to do that. So I was like, oh, push. Yeah. And so she was thankfully born before any of that was necessary. So, they lifted her out, put her on my chest. I think the first thing I said to her was, oh, you've got a wee pixie face like your dad, because her wee nose, it was so cute.
Cute.
And, took her off, weighed her, brought her back. I nursed her. And that's when I realized something was very wrong.
Oh, no.
So I started to, because they like you to nurse because everything contracts and, I was like, something is wrong. And I was like, excuse me, something is wrong. And they were like, no, you're fine. You just gave birth. You're fine.
Like, oh, first moms.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Yes. That was exactly the mentality. Now, a doctor had come in because the baby was in distress with the heartbeat.
Yeah.
So, with midlife, no, that would be right now, midwife-led care, there's always a doctor on
call,
hand, just in case. So the doctor was there, and the pain got so bad that I actually had to take her off and give her to her dad because I was like, I'm not good. Something's wrong. So he's sitting in a beanbag just going, oh my God, she's smiling. Like, you know, all marveling at this child. I'm all, excuse me, I think I might be dying.
God.
Sorry to disturb you and all. But it was literally like that. So they told me I had to poop.
What?
And I was like, this is not a poop.
That's not poops.
Also, I haven't eaten in like 2 days because, you
Right,
know, like when
yeah.
you're in labor, you're not chowing down. Like
Well, they don't let you, at least not here.
In case you have to
Yeah,
have an emergency
exactly.
C-section or something.
Yeah.
So, like, I did not need to poop. And I knew that. And honestly, I kind of thank God that I hadn't had an epidural because I wonder if I would have felt the sensation.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Which kind of then scared me of having pain relief with the other two. But yeah, they put me on a commode. I was literally going in and out of consciousness.
Oh my God, Claire.
Like I would sort of wake up on my head and you're just like, okay, I guess this is normal.
Holy shit.
So they lifted me back up. Again, I just remember sort of like going in and out.
Yeah.
And everything was fuzzy. And I know I'm the woo-woo person, but like just somewhere inside of myself, I just was like, you need to push. You need to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Like it felt instinctual.
Yeah.
It just, you know, that feeling when like the baby hits and you're like, oh, like
Yeah.
I used to ask the midwife, well, how do you know you need to push? And she'd be like, oh, you'll know. Like you
That is
will
true.
know.
Yeah.
And it was like that. So, you know, the doctor, the midwife, everybody was coming in, I kind of peering at me leaving. And I just lay there and pushed my little heart out and passed a massive clot.
Oh, good Lord.
Like size of your fist.
oh,
like
shit.
huge.
Wow.
And it made a sound like I've never heard. And the midwife then is just kind of a farmer, lesbians in Ireland. She went, oh, that's a whopping big clot. Girl, instant. I sat up. Where's my baby?
Oh my goodness.
I felt 100%.
That's crazy.
It scared the shit out of me after because I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God. Like
Yeah.
I was like
Oh.
probably literally dying there.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And like, I'm sorry, I credit myself with
Yes.
saving myself.
as
in
you,
that.
as you should, because no one else in that situation was doing fuck
Nobody
all that
else
was useful.
Was just, yeah, kind of doing anything there. So that was fun. And it kind of scared me more over time in hindsight, if that makes sense, when I realized.
Yes.
And then, you know, the idea came up that my daughter actually had a twin.
Oh.
Because I felt like I'd miscarried early in that pregnancy. And yeah, a whole story there. But yeah, that was my first birth story.
Wow, that's crazy.
It was wild.
Okay, so that was near-death experience
Yes.
number 1. And apparently there's another one.
You know, it was not nearly as dramatic. In fact, it was quite benign. When I had my son, it was an unusually hot day in Belfast. So, your birthday and his birthday are one day apart.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And so it was just weirdly very hot. We don't have AC. I was in a maternity hospital and I was like, I can't breathe. It's so warm.
No
Like,
AC. Oh, I guess that's pretty common there, isn't it?
yeah, because you don't need it
Yeah.
because it's occasionally warm. And so
Yeah.
based on what had happened then, I guess they were paying attention at that time. They were like, oh my God, you have a blood clot in your lung. And I was like, do I? I don't. And it was funny. It was the opposite. I was like, I don't think I have. I think I'm just warm. And they're like, no, you do. And so I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking die again. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, why are people having children? This is ridiculous. So did all these heart tests. They did stuff. And I was so beside myself at that point. I just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
I was like, so I had to sign myself out.
Okay.
They're like, you're probably going to die, but you can leave.
You had to discharge yourself against medical instructions
Yes.
or whatever.
Yeah, because I was
Crazy.
like, they were just very on alert, and it was freaking me out. So I just thought I'd go home and die. I don't know. They wanted to give me.
You're like, that's better than staying in this place with no AC.
Seriously, and I wanted to go home to my first baby, who was only 2. You know,
Aw.
what's those blood thinning injections they give you?
Oh,
Begins with B.
with a B.
B maybe. No, maybe I'm thinking
I don't know.
bromide. That was to give people erections, right?
Infection, erection.
No, to suppress erections, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sorry. Tangent. Yeah, they wanted to give me that, but I signed myself out, came back the next day for, they were going to, put the dye in, see if I had blood clots.
Yeah.
And I was sitting with my little baby child in the waiting room, and they were like, there's a lot of radiation in here. You probably shouldn't have your kid in here.
Oh, God.
And they give me the dye to drink, and I was like, I'm breastfeeding. Is that okay? And they were like, what? I was like, I'm a woman with a 3-day-old baby, and
what
didn't
do you
think to
is
ask
happening?
me?
Oh, my God.
And they were like, oh, you can't have that. Like, that would harm the baby. I was like, good thing I asked.
Yeah.
And at that point, I just said, fuck it, I'm going home.
Yeah, we'll just see what happens.
If I get sore legs or something indicative of that happens, I will come back. But, like...
Wow, that's
no.
crazy.
So it was kind of a fake near-death experience.
Well, yeah,
there actually wasn't anything wrong. So when there was, they didn't do anything. And when there wasn't, they're like, you're going to die.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yep.
That sounds right. That tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one was super straightforward. She literally shot out in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They lost my underwear and my pants. No, they did. They never find them. Because they, like, checked me, and they're like, oh, you're, like, 2 centimeters. And I was like, what the hell? No, like, this baby is almost here. And my water broke, and I was like, excuse me, the baby's coming out. And they were like, don't be ridiculous. And then they were like, oh shit. Like, the head is like, so they put me in a wheelchair and ran.
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
Pants, like, underwear came off. Never find them.
Well, maternity underwear, probably not the biggest loss.
Not hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, wild. Oh my God, we're only at birth, and
well, we're clearly not good. We're going to have to cut this somewhat short, but you know, hopefully we'll be doing this next year. We can talk more about Mother's Day, but
how do you celebrate?
Oh, well, that's a great question, isn't it? I don't think that celebrating that has been a big feature of my life at any point.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was. I think assumed by my ex-partner that it wasn't a big deal to me, or maybe that was just easier for him. Yeah. So there was really no celebration happening. Our current custody schedule, he has scheduled himself to have my child on Mother's Day every year.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I mean, to be fair, one of those 4 years I did have a trip over that time. So that one we will give him. The other 3, since he sets the schedule, he has reserved Mother's Day for himself.
Yes. Well, okay, cool.
Yeah. So, which, I mean, of course I could countermand, right?
Yes.
But, like, also sometimes you're like, well, pick your battles.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're, because, you're like, I have Mother's Day every day with this wonderful human.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, I do.
And you
every
have
day is
such
Mother's Day.
A good relationship with your wee baby child.
Oh, he's the best. I really do.
He is so lovely, and I love seeing the relationship you have with him because you are such a good mom. This is where I'm going to cry again.
You're so sweet.
No, but like you really are. You are a good mom because, your kid is rooted in feeling safe and loved and taken care of in all of the ways, but most importantly, he knows he's seen and valued as a human, and it's so visible when I look at you both. So good job, Mama.
Thank you.
You done good, and you're doing good.
Thank you. Good job to you too. Let me ask maybe just one more question. Did you read any parenting books, or did you have any school of parenting that you were trying to follow with 1, 2, or all 3 of your bebés?
I wish I could say yes. I think I read that, like, What to Expect When You're Expecting.
That book is kind of garbage, isn't it?
Yeah, I was like, I don't feel like this is helpful necessarily, and of course the internet wasn't around in those days.
Right.
So I didn't, I mean, that's not even a parenting book. That's a pregnancy book.
True, but I think it does have some things about a little bit.
So. Yeah.
I skimmed that book and I feel like there was some mom shaming happening It's been a while. Maybe I don't remember, right? So
how to feel like a terrible mother before you even become a mother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're doing it all wrong.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I did. I think I maybe straddled two eras of mothering where, I think we sort of went to this stage of like overscheduling kids and, all these very intentional approaches, which I don't think are all bad because, probably in our generation, we didn't have a lot of intentional parenting at all. But,
we were basically feral.
Yeah. Go outside, come back at 8 p.m. Or, and we sort of swung, I think, to the other side.
Yeah.
Maybe a middle place is good. But I don't know. Not even consciously. I didn't have any sort of guidebooks or things in mind. I think things came to me as I got older. I think there's did you have this just like complete panic when you had little kids that you were like going to die and leave them?
Yes.
I think that's universal and kind of nobody tells you that.
And it did almost happen, actually.
Oh my God.
But I'm going to save that story.
That is
for a later date.
Whole episode story on so many levels. And I'm so glad that you're sitting across from me here.
Thank you.
But it's a very all-consuming like fear. So I'm so sorry. I don't know how I got from there to did you have a parenting approach?
Well, let me just say this, and it might land for you as well. I feel like I picked up a couple parenting books and they all just pissed me off very quickly, right?
You're like, no.
Yeah. The only one I feel like was pretty valuable was, I think it's the American Academy of Pediatrics or whatever, right? And it's very matter of fact. It's like, these are the milestones. Like, this is what you should expect to see in normal development. This is what you should be doing. And at every age, like the kind of phrase that stuck out, every age, it was like, you should be giving your child lots and lots of physical and verbal like love or whatever, affection, physical and verbal affection. And I remember being like, yeah, I don't really remember that being like a strong feature from my childhood. And so like that stuck.
Yes.
And I think I would have anyway, but like it was just kind of that idea. You cannot spoil a baby. You cannot spoil a little child, right? You're there to meet their needs and show them that they're safe and loved. And I feel like really from that time till now, I would, if you would call it anything, I feel like you would call it intuitive parenting.
Yes.
Right? Like I feel like the child and the relationship, if you have a good, secure relationship, tells you what you need to do and how you need to parent. Does that land? Because I feel like you're a very intuitive person.
I think you just give me words for what I was trying to say there.
Oh, I love that.
Because and also because they're all so different. They all have different needs.
Yes, that's right.
And so it was just kind of a, what do we do next? What do we do next? Like, like I didn't have a master plan. It was just, and I think I was cautious to say it because it sounds irresponsible, but I didn't feel irresponsible.
No, it doesn't sound irresponsible at all. I think that is much better because that's coming from a real organic place of understanding your child and not trying to follow one of these stupid parenting books that is like, you must do this at this age and you must do that. And like, maybe that works for some kids, but it's not going to work for all kids, right? So you let them tell you what they needed and then you met their needs, which is amazing, and you've done it brilliantly. You can see it in all three of your children.
Thank you. I mean, I have the moments I'm not proud of. I have the moments when I knew the woman that lived behind me heard me shouting across the backyards. Definitely those moments. But I just, I loved being a mom. I just always did. I never felt like I fit the mold of the maternally, like, here's all my children presented with like little bows glued to their forehead or whatever it is you're supposed to look like. But I always took my kids like everywhere with me.
Yeah.
Like, and we kind of joke about it now. My middle son, he's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have had me watch Hotel Rwanda when I was 7.
Oh, good Lord.
But I was like, okay, son, this is important. When this happens in the world, like, here are the 10 steps of genocide. Like,
Oh, my goodness.
It's, there were lapses in judgment in that regard. And I think they've all expressed at some point that they are grateful for some of the unorthodox aspects of their childhood in some ways. But I just loved hanging out with them. And I see that with your son too. You know?
My goodness, yes.
You're just like, come with us, like be here. I think there was I had this idea that parenting meant like, just doing these prescribed things that didn't necessarily make sense for me or my kids.
Yeah.
And obviously I moved to America when my kids were 9, 6, and 2, and I had no family, and I didn't obviously trust anybody enough to leave my kids with them for like 2 straight years. So they just came everywhere with me all the time.
So good for them, though.
I don't regret it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure it was hard in
It's hard
moments.
to not get a break.
Yeah.
But I think that has a lot to do with a dynamic with your partner.
Yeah.
He worked 98% of the time.
Yeah. Heard. Understood.
Yeah. And so you're like, oh, I guess we're just, it's just me and the kiddo or kids. And but actually no regrets there.
Same.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's exhaustive, but also it forges a pretty solid bond.
It really does. And I think your kids are like mine, where like I just enjoy being with them. I just enjoy spending time, and I always did.
Yep.
Sometimes you get tired, but like I was never like, oh, I'm tired of my child and I don't want to be around him.
You're just like,
never.
Could we nap together?
Yeah,
could we sync our nap?
I'm like, maybe go to sleep so I can sleep too. But like not because I want to be away from you.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. And I still feel that way. I was just running errands on Sunday, and it makes me so happy because it's my baby. Actually, tomorrow is 21, which is
goodness.
staggering.
Oh.
And oldest baby flew from Ireland. Middle baby flew from Salt Lake, and they are all with her in Chicago. And it makes my mama heart like the happiest thing ever.
I love that.
Would I love to be there too? Yes. And it's a sibling trip, and one that I'm so grateful for, like to see the bond that they all have with each other. And, where I'm going with this is it was doing these errands on Sunday, was actually getting stuff to put in a package to mail to her for her birthday. And I was just a little melancholy, like, oh, I miss my babies. And like, you're like, every day felt like they were never going to grow up and get old.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
there they are.
You're not kid busy anymore. And it's kind of like sad. Like there's a good part to it, but it's your identity for so long. And then you just actually miss them. Because they are fun to hang out with. And I saw this item in a store, and I was like, oh, I have to remember that for this child for like Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know it's only, the start of the year, but thinking ahead. And then I had this remembrance that, I think they're all going to be home for Christmas this year.
Oh,
and I was
that's
like,
wonderful.
So excited.
Oh, that is wonderful.
So, like, to your point, they're just really good to hang out with. And
yeah,
it's great when you're all together.
Oh, well, I just had 2 thoughts while you were sharing that, and I'm tearing up a little bit too. Thought number 1 is like how beautiful that you fostered this like loving little family where they all want to be together, like as siblings. And I'm sure that even though it's kind of hard to be away from them, it must give you like so much hope and optimism for the future, right?
So much, because they have each other.
They have each other. Of course, we're planning to be around for a good long while.
Yes.
Whether you're around or not, just the fact that they have those sibling relationships is just, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love that for them. That is, one thing that my child does not have because he is an only. Mm-hmm. But, he's got other relationships that I hope can sort of stand in for that sibling relationship. But that's really beautiful. And then the other thought I had is you are going to need to help me in a couple of years because my world is going to fall apart when my baby child goes to college. So I need you to midwife me, if you will, into the stage of empty nesting, because it's going to be a grieving process for sure.
I got you, girl.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to come over with the big blanket and wrap you in
yes, please.
It really is. And, maybe this is a future episode talking about those transitions because, there's so much that people talk about with parenthood, but I don't know if it's always like the quote unquote right things, you know? Because there's always this narrative like, get them out of the house.
I hate that narrative.
I don't like it because there is a grief. Like when I dropped my youngest off to school, I I came home and literally like wandered around the house for like 3 days just going, what just happened? Like, didn't I just like bring the first one home? And you know, I used to like almost jump when I walked into the living room because I was like, shit, there's like a baby in there. Yeah. Like, you know, like, they'd be sitting in their wee bouncy chair and I'd be like, whoa. Oh. Like, I used to worry I'd forget and go out and forget to bring them with me and like, put them in the car.
Totally.
Like, and then all of a sudden you've dropped them off at school and I literally didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I just like wandered around the house.
Yeah.
Like, do I sit?
Right?
Do I take a nap? Like, what am I supposed to do now? And then groceries. I couldn't like just buy groceries for one person.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a weird ass transition. Like, yeah. It's weird.
That's really hard. Yeah, we should do a whole episode on that. For sure.
The empty nesting, all the different phases.
God, all the feels. And of course, you know, we want our babies to spread their wings and fly away 100%. And we would never clip their little wings. But at the same time, like, wow. Yeah. It's just awful to have them be away at the same time.
Yeah. It's like great and terrible all at once. Because yes, like, you know, you want them to thrive. You want them to be doing something that they are so happy, you know, doing. And I try to tell, like, all of them have been in different places at different times, and I really do make a point of saying, I am so happy you're there, you know, because Irish people don't do that when you leave the country. They're like, you motherfucker, you left. Like, so I was like, I'm not going to do that because I don't like how that feels. But, yeah, it's great and terrible because it's wonderful, like, to see, oh my God, like, that's amazing, but come home.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh.
But it's good.
It's good. Well, my friend, we are running long as we are wont to do lately.
We have a lot to say.
We have so much to say. I feel like we could talk about this for like 5 days straight and still not be done.
100%.
So maybe we'll do some follow-up episodes. But how about to close things off, do you want to share maybe one funny story from childhood, just a light anecdote?
I was trying to think about that earlier today, you know, all the funny mishaps of parenting. And
yes,
I thought of one to share, given that we kind of, you know, the ex-Mormon vibe too. I was trying to be a good mother, and we were traveling, and the third child had not been born yet. Was actually conceived on this trip, TMI, comment for all of my children listening.
Earmuffs.
Yes. Sorry. And we were visiting the Toronto temple.
Oh,
the Mormon temple.
Okay.
And I'm, you know, children, here is the temple, the house of the Lord. You know, I'm doing all the mothering things. And you know, families can be together forever, the whole, like, Mormon vibe.
As long as you don't fuck up.
Yeah. I mean, it's very precarious, so you better give lots of your money to the church.
Toe the line.
And wear that underwear and all that stuff. Yeah, so my wee son is 3 at the time, and we're sitting by the fountain. I feel like I'm just in a magazine, like a church magazine.
Yeah.
And
you probably looked like it.
Yeah, like the cute little young
gorgeous
person
family.
Like... And he steps up on the edge of the fountain, drops his shorts, drops his underwear, and just pees in the fountain. And I'm like running in slow mo. No! Like, as I see people aghast, they're like, oh my God, she raised a feral child. Like,
oh my God.
You know, and he was a good boy. And I mean,
that's amazing.
Just kids do stuff. They do stuff. And he heard the water. You know how sometimes like you run the faucet and you're like, I
you know what that reminds me of?
Yes. And the poor kid, he was just like, oh my God. And you know, he didn't just stand up and do it. Like, he went to a receptacle of water and thought that would be a good idea. But yeah, that was a good kid memory. And a quick other one that's just religious related, I think is funny. I will be so quick. I was pregnant with my second, had the first child in the bath. It's the night before Easter. And I'm like, yeah, and then Jesus rose again after the third day. And, you know, I'm telling her the whole
Easter story.
Yes. And she's just staring at me blankly. And she's 2 years old. And our earlier point where we're like they're just born, like she was born 40 years old, was always just very skeptical. Like you'd be like, oh, is that your baby? And she'd be like, no, it's a doll. Like what?
Duh.
No sense of irony. Like just, yeah. Which is funny because she's
Stop
a writer
asking
now.
stupid questions.
Yeah. And so I tell her the Jesus story and she just goes, Mommy, you shouldn't tell lies. And I was like, is my child Damien? Like what?
Oh
like,
my God, that's amazing.
yeah. So my children were always, religiously skeptical apparently.
Amazing.
So,
both of those were like foreshadowing of things to come, I guess.
They were. But what about you? Any funny kid stories you remember?
I have many, but kind of on the same vein of peeing. That reminded me of a different one. So I'll tell this one because it was pretty funny. So when my baby was 5, we went to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And we were at this like one of those big Hawaiian resorts, many pools, like the lagoon, etc. And at one point he needed to use the bathroom. So I took him to the women's restroom, right? As you do when they're little.
Yeah.
And I walked in and like there was a line. Okay, a lot of people needing to use that restroom. A lot of people there. There were probably 12 or 14 stalls on either side. A line of women waiting. Some of them with kids in tow, but mostly just women. And we go into the stall and he uses the toilet and then I use the toilet. And then my darling child, in a voice loud enough to be heard, probably across the entire resort, said, Mom, I always wondered how you peed because you don't have a penis, but I just watched it and now I understand. And I could hear all around me, the entire restroom, just fucking losing it. Because everybody heard it and everybody was and I was laughing too. I wasn't even embarrassed. I'm just like, that is fucking hilarious. So it was a little moment of joy for everyone in that restroom with us.
Oh, it's like so pure.
I know.
Like he's so excited. Oh my God, I see how this works. That's so cute. Oh.
Isn't that great?
I love those moments where, he probably did wonder about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was just
does this work?
so excited to share that.
That is adorable.
It was so
share
funny.
it with as many people as possible.
It was so funny. Maybe one of the great things about, being in your 30s, because I'm not embarrassed at all.
No.
Like, this is just hilarious.
You're like, that is so cute and innocent.
I'm
and
like,
beautiful.
you're welcome, everyone in this restroom.
I know, like, how many people shared that. They're like, oh, this cute kid. It was amazing.
So funny.
Yeah. And that, my friends, is motherhood.
Yep.
Like,
there it is.
to a T.
Yep.
Yep. Oh,
all of it. Well,
it's all good.
Shall we say goodbye?
We shall say goodbye. Wish all our moms well. Get a nap.
Yep.
Look after your wee selves.
Yep.
You
some
matter
self-care.
too.
Yep. Whether you're a mom or not.
Yep.
Yep. We love you. So, salty hoes, have a happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Salty bros, take care of the women in your life.
Yes. Could be your mom, your sister, anybody, but just be very kind today in particular.
Yeah.
Always, but
Always.
especially today.
All right. We've had a great time sharing our stories of motherhood with you. I'm sure we have many, many more that you'll get to hear if you keep listening.
Yes.
So if you like this episode, you know the drill. 5-star rating, review, comment, etc. Follow.
All the things.
All the things.
Hit all the buttons.
Yeah, that's right. Just mash them all.
All of them. I feel a dirty joke coming, but seeing it's about motherhood, I'll resist.
You sure?
About smashing buttons, yes. On that note.
Where do babies come from? I'm just kidding. All right, friends. We're signing off now. Take care.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.